Hello guys and welcome to another episode of D's Media World. Today we'll be doing episode 22 in the Inuyasha review series, A Wicked Smile, Kikyo's Wandering Soul. So this episode kind of comes back, obviously, back to Kikyo, and back to sort of the, not so much about Naraku in this episode, but what Kikyo has been up to since I think episode 15, when we thought she had died, or it was implied that she fell off the cliff and died again. But it actually turns out that she survived because she's technically undead. So she survived the fall and was trying to attempt to live sort of in peace at this village as a priestess again, just like she used to. So this episode is really, not a whole lot happens, but I think it's really interesting. It switches back between, what Inuyasha Kagome are doing. They find out, and Shimoku and them, they find out that there's someone been stealing the souls from these women, from these dead women, and they want their parents or their father wants to stop it from happening because, that's terrible. Like, until, they're already dead, can they at least have their souls? So Inuyasha and Kagome are protecting this one princess to make sure her soul doesn't get taken, and then they see these soul snatchers or whatever. In the midst of that, while that's happening, we see that Kikyo is living in the village, and this monk has been like stalking her in a way, and has been trying to see what she's up to because he can tell she's not from this world, and that she shouldn't be around children, and that she's either the undead or she just doesn't belong in the living world. I think he explains it like, the living always are moving and growing and the dead stay still. That's why they can't be in the same world, something along those lines. And then we find out towards the end of the episode that Kikyo is the one who's been taking the souls from these women in order to keep her body alive. So she takes the souls from the women, but the little girl, her name is, I think I wrote it down, Sayu, something like that. Has sort of, it's really an adorable little girl, by the way. She treats sort of like a little sister, has been sort of looking up to her and stuff like that. Just like children used to love Kikyo. And she finds out that Kikyo is not from this world and she's doing a terrible thing. But while she seems scarred towards the end, because Kikyo killed the monk, who interfered, while she seems like scared at first, she seems like she would have accepted it. Like, that's weird, I didn't know that about you, but I like you so much that I think I could accept it. They don't go to death again with that, but you get that impression. I like the relationship she has with Kikyo. And really that's all that mostly happens. The end of the episode ends on a cliffhanger, and we find out that the monk's like apprentice failed. I don't know what he ran away scared, but I guess somehow this led to him being in the river unconscious. I'm actually kind of curious what happened to him. Like, he ran away, but I don't know. I'm trying to think, because nothing like attacked him or anything. I don't know. And then Inuyasha saves the monk, and the monk tells him that the crazy woman who killed his master was Kikyo, and Inuyasha goes to save her and stuff like that. Can't believe she's still alive. And Moroku, the one real interesting thing that happens at the end of the episode is that Moroku, they were talking about Kikyo, and Inuyasha already ran off, and I think Moroku says something like, are we gonna let him run off like that? Obviously, Inuyasha's not going to be stopped, so I don't think you're letting him do anything. But Kagome's like, whatever, let him do what he has to do. And Shibbo's like, well, why? Why does he have to go on his own? And Kagome, I don't remember what Kagome says, but Moroku's like, I understand, maybe Inuyasha needs to go see Kikyo by himself, because the woman he once loved maybe has changed, and he doesn't want others to witness that change in her or in himself from seeing her. Basically, he needs his alone time to digest what's happening here. And when Kagome and I know Shippo as a kid keeps asking questions, and Moroku says something like, well, maybe he would get back together with her. If that was me, I would get back together with her if she hadn't changed, like if she was still the same person. And Kagome's like, she's pissed off, and then she goes to chase after they go to chase after the soul collectors, and she makes it, and there's Kikyo. Then that's the cliffhanger. But back to what Moroku was saying, I found that interesting because they don't factor in the fact that Kikyo is technically, well, no, not technically, is dead, but she's alive again in this like clay body. So I guess what Moroku was saying is that he could. It's going to be talked about more in the next episode, but Moroku is kind of saying like, you know, he would still, you know, love this woman as long as she hadn't changed too much or something along those lines. This is a good episode. It's another episode that's clearly leading into the next episode, which I can't wait to talk about. But in terms of this one, I actually like Kikyo as a character. A lot of people hate her, and they hate anything that has to do with Kikyo. But the idea of her still being alive and having to use other dead women's souls to keep, it's creative thought. To keep her body like sustainable and her able to move. She still has her powers too. Like when she kills that monk, there was like almost no effort, and she kills him because she's pissed off because he won't leave her alone. Do I think the monk deserves to die like that, or to die for what he was doing? Not necessarily, but at the same time, I understand where he's coming from. Even though Kikyo wasn't doing any harm to anyone, what she was doing, she was taking care of the children and stuff like that. I could see him being like, well, this person's acting like they're part of this world when they're not. So it's understandable that he would be like in her face about it. The thing with the scroll thing was interesting. She erased it. I wonder if I don't know what to say about that. She erased the scroll, and that kind of made me laugh because she just gave it back to him like it was nothing. I don't know. Let's see if I have anything else. No, I think that's mostly it. I mean, this is just kind of an introduction to what Kikyo has been doing, and well, we don't know what she'll do next till the next episode. But that's mostly it. So, all right, that's it for episode 22. You know how I do. Of course, the episode is below in the description box, so you guys can watch that first before watching my video. I keep forgetting to start my videos with that, but by now, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, you know that you need to watch the episode first or something like that. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this episode, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!